3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Okay,
15 months.
15 months. The permit's been there.
Yeah.
So what are they doing here?
This is only for exterior work, just to make it so they don't get fined anymore.
Right.
This is not to actually reactivate this space or turn this into anything.
It's just so they don't get another fine.
And this is, again, an old corner building right at the entrance to the square.
Right across from Congo Square, where jazz started.
In festival season, March, April, May, the square is pretty active.
But it's only during a festival.
Only during those weekend festivals, this place would be popping. But it certainly can't. Yeah.
There's the sound of Rampart Street.
It certainly can't rely on just the festivals and the overflow. It needs to have something that it can do as a cultural destination.
That is correct. And how does this help anyone that lives in New Orleans? Anywhere?
We do applaud the operator of this space to do their best to keep the blight to a minimum.
We will apply.
Knowing that the city's rules and the zoning and the regulations can make it very hard to operate a successful business in this city.
That is correct, but we're hoping incrementally, little by little, we can change that.
Absolutely.
Because the status quo is not working.
Would you like to come enjoy some piano music in this place? What is fixed?
Oh my gosh, wouldn't anybody? You open the door, there's a live piano player waving. That is just indicative New Orleans, but you can't do it. It's pathetic. All right, now, this.
More graffiti.
More graffiti? Why haven't these people been cited?
It's hard to cite people for graffiti because you know it's not the business owners doing it to themselves. And as soon as they clean it, again, with the blighted conditions, low amount of people on the street, low eyes on the street, as soon as you clean it, it gets put back.
How is this helping anyone? It's a historic building.
It's not.
It can't be torn down. It's got to be renovated to its ultimate beautiful facade. And here we are, it's another one, just black.
I think the status quo of limited options for what they can do in that building
absolutely
changed.
This is why it's blighted, because there's very few things you can do legally in that building.
Yeah.
Oh, VC Pura.
Do you, Cindy, we have a lot of these bars. They're allowed to have jukeboxes and music.
Yes.
Do you think it's a different experience for listening to a jukebox and listening to the same volume of live entertainment?
Absolutely. And there's a quality of life issue with jukeboxes. There needs to be decibel control. I know they've tried to do that. But when you look at a jukebox blown up and on 11 compared to a live piano player, a live piano player is not as offensive. So this building here, I'm glad that somebody has at least paid attention and renovated it, but it remains empty. This building is governed by the VCE2 zone. Now, Zach, you being the zoning expert, what could somebody put in this building?
In the VCC2, you have very limited, it's one of the more intense commercial districts in the quarter, but it's absurd at how little commercial activity you can actually put into it.
Correct.
So the quarter has outlawed hotels for 70 years. It doesn't seem like that's really helped with conditions in the quarter of a lot of buildings, whereas a lot of places, especially a place as loud as Rampart Street, you can't have a bar.
Right.
You can't have any sort of nightclub. You can't have any sort of live entertainment. We've been hearing cars all day long.
And we're having to talk over
them.
But a live piano player,
unamplified,
is illegal here. So
it seems like we're prosecuting the wrong thing.
I agree. So being a developer, I'm a realtor. I'd work with realty and developers. What is my sales pitch to someone developing this building on North Rampart Street?
It's a hard sell, right?
It's a really hard sell. And again, that gets back to how does a blighted building, you don't have your tax revenue, you don't have your tourists, you don't have anything. It's just a dead end.
And then we're going to go up now, Cindy, and see a local business owner who's essentially, we have a couple of museums and kind of small mom and pop things, but then we get to probably the most active spot on the entire street in terms of public interaction. And I think he's been having trouble with permits. I think he's been having trouble with being, surrounded by no other activity.
Correct.
To where, again, he's on an island by himself.
And the reason he gets traffic, it's because it all leads back to music. It was Metassa's studio where so many great records were made. But yet, to put a live music or a live piano player like Fats Domino used to play in there, it's illegal today.
Do you find it interesting that we've barely been interfered with by other pedestrians?
There are no other pedestrians.
Yeah. There's little pockets here and there. But we're not just talking about tourists. We're talking about any